Yeah, feel this right here, man. Errol Spence says he expects Terence Crawford to start fast. Hopkins says it ends in controversy. What's good, everybody? It's your boy, Cardinal Red Sports. Let's talk about it. Alright, y'all. So, the big homie, Errol, the Truth, Spence Jr., recently put out some info, and I want to get my deuce on that, as well as what the OG of boxing, Bernard Hopkins, had to say about Spence versus Crawford and how it ends.
My best performance, especially in sparring, somebody I'm cool with. I'm not trying to get beat up by somebody that I know or somebody that I might talk to. I'm trying to really put a hurting on him. So I feel like this is gonna be an action-packed fight.
Alright, y'all. So the big homie, Errol Spence Jr., he said that he expects Terence Crawford to start fast. And I wanted to break down for anybody listening what I feel like Errol Spence means by he's going to start fast. I think he expects Terence Crawford to come out all guns a-blazing, try to knock him out, try to treat him like the bully, try to David Evansian him, which I don't think, Crawford can do to Spence in any stretch of the imagination, or vice versa. I don't think Spence is going to be able to sun Terence Crawford, but I do think Spence is the guy who's going to win this fight. But I think he expects Terence Crawford to come out throwing a lot of combinations. And if that's his mind state, if he's expecting Terence Crawford to come out really quickly and gas himself out, that means to me that Errol Spence is preparing for a 12-round fight.
It play out me just, breaking them, mentally, physically, damn near spiritually.
And not a knockout. And I think that's the correct game plan. I think for Errol Spence to beat Terence Crawford, he's going to have to outthink Terence Crawford. He's going to have to outwork Terence Crawford. And he's also going to have to out-game plan Terence Crawford.
What the fuck am I trying to prove here?
And to me, the right game plan is don't go for the knockout. Do what you've always done. Break these fighters down. Go to the body. Tire them out. When the opportunity presents itself, if you can score the knockout, go for it. But if not, it's not really necessary. What is necessary in this fight is to become the undisputed champion of the world.
Just like you used to do in jail. Look at him. Just like you used to do in jail.
Hold up, let me explain to him. I called him out, but I didn't know we was in different weight classes.
It is a part of history. It's never been done before, at least in the four-belt era or whatever. So, Errol Spence and Terence Crawford are trying to solidify their names in the history books. They might not be remembered as the greatest fighters in history. They might not be remembered as the best champions or the most active fighters in history. But they will be remembered for this undisputed fight. Believe me.
I feel like it's gonna be a multitude of everything. I mean, it's gonna be the ingredients of everything in. It's gonna be the jab. It's gonna be ring IQ. It's gonna be fundamental. It's gonna be who can stay focused. It's gonna be award nutrition. It's gonna be everything coming together, and the best fighter is gonna win. Whoever can just stay focused and who can endure.
This is history in the making. Whoever wins is definitely going to be on another plateau in the sport. Whoever loses, it depends on how they lose and how they rebuild themselves after the loss. If Terence Crawford loses, I think it's going to take a big shot to his ego.
Shit, but I got mine.
If Errol Spence loses, I think you're going to see Spence immediately rematch Crawford and, try to run it back, try to get his titles back. And it's going to depend on what version of Spence comes to the ring in the second fight. If he doesn't bring it, Terence Crawford will most likely beat him again.
9 o'clock, all alone, paging you. Wishing you come over.
So, I think going back to what I was originally saying about starting fast, whoever comes out with the better game plan is going to win this fight. Whoever comes out and tries to outthink the opponent is going to win this fight. This is not going to be a fight for a brute. This is not going to be one of those brute battles, I don't think. Even though I want to see a great fight, and if them guys come out swinging, guns blazing at each other, hats off to them, kudos to them, I'm going to be entertained by that, most likely. But I think if you're trying to set a precedent and make a huge statement in the sport, the one guy who comes out and does exactly what he's supposed to do, game plan, outwork his opponent, outthink his opponent, that's the guy I think is most likely going to win the fight and most likely going to win the war. And the war would be who wins the second fight.
Took a hammer and slapped the fuck out of him.
This first fight is going to be great. It's history-making, it's anticipated, it's all those good things. But that second fight is actually where the story is going to be told, because let's just say we have a controversial victory in the first fight. Terence Crawford somehow becomes champion off a 12-round decision or something. How good is Errol Spence going to be in that second fight? That's really what's going to tell the story. How good is Terence Crawford going to be in that second fight? He'll be a year older. Errol Spence will be a year older, more than likely. Depends on how long they take to exercise their rematch. They got up until August, and then, they might take another 3 months to put the fight on. They might do it immediately. How do those guys come back, and how do they avenge themselves in the rematch is what's really going to be the true story to be told here. And I think that, like Bernard Hopkins said, I think that there is going to be some controversy in this fight. I think that, boxing is split on this one. And you might have some judges that's for Crawford. You might have some judges that's for Spence. The referee might get involved. Might be a stoppage. Might be a clash of heads. There's all type of scenarios that could play out. But I think the one thing that is most definitely going to happen in this fight, I think there's going to be a controversy when it comes to skill levels. Because I think everybody thinks Terence Crawford is a much better boxer. He's more talented. He has more skill sets in his boxing bag than Errol Spence. I think everybody looks at Errol Spence kind of like the brute in the room. He's the big weight bully. He's the bruiser. And I think they expect Terence Crawford to expose him with boxing ability. But y'all gotta remember, Errol Spence was an amateur at one point, and a very good amateur. And amateur boxing is all about knowing how to box, basically. So for anybody saying that Terence Crawford is the better boxer, I don't think that that's true. I don't think Errol Spence has had to display much real boxing skill, because he can out-brute his opponent, because he can break his opponents down. That style works for him, so he's never really had to go into that true boxing bag that everybody keeps talking about that he lacks. But in this fight, I think this is where the controversy is going to come in. I think you're going to see Spence box Terence Crawford for the first 4 rounds and then break him down for the remainder of the fight. And I think that's going to be controversial to a lot of people because they're not expecting that. I don't think Spence is stupid. I think if he tries to come out and just do the same old same, throw the same old combinations, they're already prepared for that. They're watching plenty of film, how you start, how you take the middle of your fight, how you end your fight. So you're going to have to come up with something different versus Terence Crawford. And I think the perfect game plan would be to go to that bag that nobody expects. Box Terence Crawford for 4 rounds and then tire him out and then break him down. And I think that's going to throw Terence Crawford off. I think it's going to throw a lot of people off. And I can't wait for this fight, man, because at the end of the day, no matter who wins, it's history for boxing. It's good for boxing. It's big for boxing. It's a super fight that needed to be made, and it makes boxing look better that they actually made the fight. So at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter who wins. Let's just be happy we got the fight, and let's hope that we get more super fights the same way this fight came together.
Ain't no motherfucking kings and queens out here. Y'all the king, y'all the queen. Y'all support our motherfucking ass.
Y'all let me know what y'all think about all that down in the comment section below. Hit that like button for me. Share. Subscribe. Holler at me on all social media platforms. That's Facebook, that Instagram, that YouTube, that Twitter. But you're more than likely to get a response on the tubes, so holler at me over there. If you want to collabo, feature a product or your channel on my channel, feel free to hit my Gmail because it is a flack of cards at gmail.com. Yeah. And we are Manny.
Illuminati, want your mind, soul, and your body. You want a red bone hottie and a Maserati. Is that a fur trade? I was in 3rd grade, writing down mean. Now I'm as clean as your maid. Get these bitches wet, they some mermaids. Take a survey, they all prefer K. EYZ, still in the money. I'm a Louisville legend and I'm still in my 20s. Super cool, wind chill in the 20s, but I still pack heat. I can make it feel sunny. So you can rock a white beater when I'm mobbing through. But be safe and bring your coat and your toboggan too. I'm out of here. I'm on my mind. 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 Where you from, nigga? I would clown your ass, but you can't get smart with a dumb nigga. Dumb nigga, I would shank your ass, but you can't knife fight with a gun, nigga. If Louis Keys did it, it's a damn banger. Tape on the 38 like a jam banger. To this rap shit, I ain't no damn stranger. They wanna throw me off the boat, but I'm the damn anchor. And my team ride clean, looking like tomato juice in my Visine. My eyeballs bloodshot and red, all eyes on Louis Keys, no pocket red. I'm out of here, I'm on my mind.